Hello everybody, my name is Ilya.
And my name is Tyler. Together we make up Cobre, a couple that loves to play board games.
And loves camels.
We do?
Well, I don't really like horses, they creep me out.
I like horses. But I also like races.
Ooh, but this isn't a race.
But this is a check it out, where we introduce various board games to you in hopes that we can find a game that you'll like.
And this week we're looking at Camel
Off season. Check it out, 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 check it out. Because it's like riding a horse.
But we're not in a race.
But it's a camel.
I guess the camels are the markets.
Hmm.
Camel Off Season is designed by Stefan Kloß and Anna Oppolzer. It is published by Pretzel Games.
In Camel Up Off Season, you'll be doing exactly that with your camels. You're no longer off to the races, and this time what you'll be doing is making sure all of your camels can carry all the goods and the materials you need to prove that you are the most worthy trader.
Yeah, you definitely want to be the wealthiest merchant. But how do you do that?
Well, what better way to learn than taking a quick look at how to play the game?
As always, you'll begin by setting up. Each player will get one caravan and a desert tent, as well as a set of 4 different sail overview cards. You'll assemble and place the tower by the play area with a shuffled deck of goods on top. You'll then place the market tiles side 1 face up based on the player count, typically player count plus 1. You'll then draw the corresponding good cards in each of the market. The top card icon represents face up goods, while the back card icon represents face down goods. You'll create a supply of tokens and coins, and each player will receive 5 coins to start. In Camel Up Off Season, your goal is to become the wealthiest merchant by having the most coins by the end of the game. The game is played in 3 phases: auction, market, and sell. The first phase is the auction phase. Each round starts with an auction to see who the first player will be.
The way your auction will work depends on the top card of the auction deck. You'll take a look, and this card will indicate the type of auction of the current round. The standard auction rules remain, however, some of these special rules may affect the winning conditions of the auction.
Now, the way the standard auction works is a player will place coins in their hand and reveal them at the same time. The highest bid will need to pay their coins and become the starting player. Now, if tied, the next highest bid wins, and so on. It is possible to win with a 0 bid. Now, once the first player is determined, the second phase comes into play: market. Starting with the first player, each player will choose a market card. First, you'll optionally activate its ability. Its ability can sometimes range from shifting goods around to peeking at the goods deck, as well as obtain various tokens that can help you make an additional sale or peek at various market cards of one of the markets. Then you'll take all the goods corresponding to that market, revealing any of the face down cards, and place them in your camels. When placing goods in the camels, there's a few restrictions. There are 4 different types of goods, and a player must assign a different type of good per camel. It cannot be reassigned until all goods of that type are sold. Now, you'll notice the limits on each of the camels. If you ever place goods exceeding that limit, the camel collapses and loses all the goods on its back, including the ones you just acquired. You'll continue with every player taking a market tile. You'll then sell as the third and last phase. Starting with the first player, each player may sell a group of goods. You may sell either a part or all of the goods from one of your camels. Each good is sold in a different way based on an overview card. Dates are sold in quantities of 3s, always rounded down. Carpets must be sold in a group of at least 2 different colors, with more unique colors yielding more coins. Pottery must be sold in a group of at least 2 pottery of the same shape. With more of the same shape, the more coins. Now, fruit is a little bit different. It must be sold in priority, meaning all pomegranates must be sold before oranges and so on. They also have a value for each sold that's based on their rarity. Once everyone sells, you'll place 1 pound from the supply on the market that wasn't chosen, and then flip over all the market tiles that were chosen into a different side. You'll then refill the goods, and now you're ready to go for the next round. Once the goods deck runs out, you'll reshuffle the discard pile, fill the market tiles 1 more time, and that will be the last round. During the sell phase of the last round, players may make one sale from each of their camels, if possible. You'll tally up your coins, and the player with the most wins. Will you be the wealthiest merchant? So what do you think?
I like it. I'm pretty far gone when it comes to bidding games.
What do you mean by far gone?
It's actually probably one of my least favorite mechanics that out there. Now, obviously, like, other people like bidding mechanics, so like I'm not one to say much. But
everyone has different choices.
Exactly.
You don't have to justify not enjoying bidding.
That said, I do actually enjoy this one. Probably more than I enjoy the original Camel Up. So yeah, it's a fun. I particularly like it, and we'll talk about it a little bit more. But the varying auction rules and then the mix of set collecting, it's very nice.
One of my favorite mechanics is push your luck, and this game certainly has that. So I really enjoy that. I've really enjoyed this game thoroughly. I think the mix of set collection, the mix of just variety, the different take on the Camel Up theme is really fun. What I think particularly really like is that I think it surprised me. I wasn't expecting what this game was going to be. I think I was expecting a very Camel Up-esque game, and it's really not.
Yeah, it's just in the same realm, and then obviously it has camels in it. It also was like, when we first played it, it ramped up. Like the first round of bidding, and maybe even the second one, it didn't feel like very push your lucky. But then you get into like maybe even the second, but definitely the third, where you're like, I could take
camels
all 6
can collapse.
cards. Yeah, but maybe my camels will collapse.
Yeah,
so
we don't want that. But now we're going to add a little segment that we haven't added before, is what games do you enjoy that you might enjoy this one as well? Was that a great way to describe the segment?
No, but I will try. I will try.
Okay, what are you going to say?
We're going to call this one Comparables. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to talk about a couple of games on our shelf that we would say kind of match in line to this game.
Yeah.
And maybe if you enjoy these games, then you probably might want to check this game out.
So the 3 comparables we have today are...
the original Camel Up.
Yeah, because the theme kind of carries through as a way for you to connect to the game.
Yeah. As Ilya just previously mentioned,
of
it
course,
not
it
being very the same.
Yes, but the theme compares. The story is there. They're very... because it's off-season. Your camels are racing, and now they're off-season doing their work in the markets for the merchants.
Yeah, exactly.
So the theme is there.
What about the second one?
So for me, I think Megaland compares to it quite a bit, and I think for that push your luck mechanism, it definitely gives me similar feels when playing both of these games.
Oh, that's like the adventuring into the video game realm?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I
What
agree.
about you?
That's a good one. I'd actually say 10, like the new AEG game that came out. You're basically pushing your luck in that game. Probably not as much as in this game, but it's a very like tight race where you have to try and like make sure you're collecting the right resources. Sometimes you don't get the cards you want, and you have to be like pretty smart with your moves.
Yeah. And that's our comparables.
Yeah.
So why should you check this game out?
Well, I think that because it's a sequel to a game that is pretty popular, if you are on the Camel Up train, then I think that this one is right down your alley.
And Camel Up is a very accessible and Camel Up is a very approachable game, and I think many individuals have played it. I believe it did win the Spiel des Jahres. I'm pretty sure, but maybe I'm wrong. And because of that, it's really neat to be like, hey, you've played Camel Up, you're going to love Camel Up off-season. It is a little bit of a different game. The theme is still there. It's quite a different game, not a little bit. But I think that's what's really cool, because you can introduce various new mechanics to individuals and see like, hey, no, I like Camel Up more, and then you can base more games to Camel Up. Or, hey, I really like this element of this game. Is there other games that do set collection? And how can we kind of draw people into that? So that approachability of it is really cool to me.
Yeah, bidding is one of those mechanics that is just like easily picked up by everybody. So Camel Up and Off Season do a really good job at introducing other mechanics on top of it. And it's really nice to be able to introduce those mechanics slowly and be like, if you enjoyed this mechanic, you might also like this game. So,
and this is one of the few bidding games where you can bid 0.
Which leads us to our next point.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's we've said it before, but there are a lot of varying auction rules. And yeah, one of the cool ones is the ties. where you can actually win as a zero bid. And then there's actually one where
the zero bid is predominant. If you're the only person that bid zero, you win. But you have to be the only person. And if you're not, you'll actually lose coins. So that's something that I enjoy because I like the risk factor.
Yeah, and then it spins the bidding concept on its head, so you don't always have to worry about like having the most money, bidding the most. It's very nice. Yeah.
This is also a game that you can play at a higher player count. It's not meant to be played at a lower player count. I think this game really does shine at the 4 or 5 player count.
Yeah.
So I think if you have a larger group that you're trying to get a game to, I think this is definitely one of them.
Yeah, it's a 3 to 5 player game. It takes about 45 minutes to play too, so it's fairly quick, and yeah, it's great for a bigger group.
Absolutely.
So let's turn the page over now and talk about why you shouldn't check it out.
Well, the one thing I'll say about this game that stood out to me quite a lot is, and I'll start with a positive. I really like the card dispenser. It's very beautiful. It puts away very nicer. The cards go from discard, from like the deck to the discard, very smooth. The one thing I don't love is the way the pyramid and the coin holder comes into play. It seems like a lot of plastic and cardboard for no purpose. I think
I would argue for an inconvenience.
Yeah, definitely. Though even the way like if you put the coins in and they're all like compact, it's hard to actually get like a handful of coins too. So that piece of it, but as well as I think the reason they try to do it is to try to keep with the theme because the pyramid was such a key component of the first game. So maybe that's why, but it's definitely not a needed thing. And I guess that's my reason why you shouldn't check it out is the waste of in a weird random pyramid component that stores coins.
The unnecessary components.
Yeah,
that's
what do you
fair.
think?
I actually, because it's a bidding game and because it has that special auction rule, it can almost be like a bidding mind game, like social deduction type thing, where you're always like trying to know what people are gonna do so that you can bid, like reacting if you end up having to pick third or fourth. Like I think that there's a lot going on behind your little tent that you can kind of play tricks on people. That's
true with the coins. I don't think I necessarily agree with like the mind games because I feel like that's a smaller, to me at least, it felt like a smaller element of the game. I think for me, like the main focus was or the main deterrent mechanics wise would be the push your luck mechanic, because I think in reality, once the first player's picked, you just go in turn order, and like the first player may have what they want to pick, but it depends on who. Because if that person is next to me, like if you bid, I get to go second, and I'm like, I didn't even have to pay any coins, and I still probably get my option. So I think it's really a luck element in that, especially flipping over some of those cards with the camels collapsing. But I think that's something that, like, it draws me forward, but I know for some people it's just definitely a mechanic that doesn't vibe, because you can have the perfect strategy, everything's perfect, you have almost all the 6 carpets of all the colors, you're about to get so many points, and camel collapses. So, yeah, that's my thought.
A fumbling camel.
Fumbling, collapsing camel. Collapsing camels are not a joke, Tyler.
I wasn't laughing. But overall, I think we enjoyed this game, right?
Yeah, the reason I really like it is because of that familiarity. And I think like a lot of our friends have played Camel Up, and I think it's so easy to draw them in and then say like, which part of this did you like? Because it has so many of bits of mechanics that we can say, oh, you really like set collection? Well, there's this whole field of games that we can do set collection with. You really like bidding? We can do all of that. Even like the various card action and card manipulation, like there's a lot of games for that. So I think it's like a little spider web that can entangle more people to play games with me.
Yes, that's a good point. I think I have a just like a sour taste in my mouth because of the bidding mechanic, which I guess worked in Camel Up's favor because I came in with low expectations.
That's true.
And it was greatly appreciated when I got to actually play the game, so yay.
So now it's time for a question of the day. Now, this question of the day is going to be very fun. If you could transport one material and sell it across the world, what would that material be?
Water.
That's so boring.
Ha-ha.
That's so boring.
I don't know.
You
I think it's
tired? You're gonna
clever.
make people pay for water?
We didn't say sell. You said trade.
I said sell.
Oh, I thought you said trade. Still water.
I would do something fun. I think I would, like, it'd definitely be a food because if I get hungry, I would just eat it instead of selling it. But it'd probably be like something that's like less, like it'd probably be like very exquisite baked buns that no one else has. And I'd be like, here's this coconut bun and here's this other bun. And I would eat them on my time off while traveling. So it'd be a wonderful experience.
Do we have unlimited access to all of this? That would be cool.
I hope so. Well, you're the water tyrant who's selling his water. Terrible. Well, I can't stop laughing.
Well, if you like this video, please give us a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, or even that bell notification, because we release videos on the weekly.
Yes, twice weekly sometimes.
All the time.
Well, thank you so much for watching, and we hope to see you at the next one.
Exactly. Until next time, though, this is us checking out. Bye.